All right. So here is our behind the scenes. Here's us moving videos around. And I just sent Justin this video from yesterday. I also am sending Justin a link right now for him to look at because I wanted everyone to see his reaction.
Oh, I saw this. Yeah, somebody yesterday.
Huh?
This is incredible. Now I've not been able to try it out because you don't have the ability to do anything here for free. You have to pay for everything on this platform. Um, but this is insane.
Amazing. Yeah, insane. And so, we've talked about how we can do some of these chaining together. LangChain allows you to do some of it, right? SaaSRock allows you to do some of it. But this is so visual. And one of the things that I don't think techies really appreciate is just how much visual enables people, normal
Yeah,
people, to use products, right? I'm a visual thinker myself, so I like greatly appreciate tools that
yep.
focus on the flow very highly. If I had to, compare what I saw of this product in the video, I don't know where I saw the video, but the video that I saw, um, it makes me think of Figma applied to AI, right?
Yeah,
Or like a flow charting tool to AI, and that's just
yep.
huge.
Yeah, I think that's a really good. I think it's a really good comparison. There's actually something interesting on the UX here that I thought was interesting, which is that this is a really brilliantly done um design because on the homepage you click to get started in the app and it brings you into what feels like a dashboard, but I'm not logged in yet, right? Like it will let me play around until I do this and it's going to ask me to log in. And it's brilliant for gradual engagement because I'm much more likely to convert at that point.
I 100% agree. And I love doing these little AI intros. So this one will be the intro to Skade, right? I think it's so smart. It's so smart. And by the way, like the idea of chaining, right? So we have this issue for our own podcast. We've been talking about what a royal podcast, video series, whatever, YouTube. What a royal pain in the ass it is to actually do the whole process. So instead, we've just been like hacking it and doing a little bit here, a little bit there. But the idea of like, hey, come up with an outline, maybe come up with the presentation, make sure all the right links are in the right places, then film it and send it there, have a transcription, and like all of those steps. If we could like truly create a flow for that, let's say the YouTube generator, your YouTube, whatever, uh, you know, perfect. If we can actually get something like that to work, it would kind of be insane. Um,
Yes. Not that is if it actually generated the flow.
well, it looks like you had to create a flow file and attach it, which I don't know how that works.
Well, you can optionally do that, it looks like. Oh,
Oh,
it just
refresh the page.
right.
All right.
So yeah, so when you have this now, you've got this canvas. So we could say, well, what's the first step in our YouTube production workflow that we want to do?
So the first step is probably using an LLM that has the ability to surf the internet to come up with um, some ideas for a video and then take the ideas and come up with outlines, take the outlines, right? Like,
And
so,
this is a question that does it have, or is this all just models,
and if
right?
it's models, that's fine, right?
Yep.
So does it have OpenAI? I would assume it does.
Okay.
It does not have OpenAI.
Interesting. Interesting.
That is very interesting. Um,
And I will tell you the reason. I mean, it has the Whisper API or the Whisper model, which is an OpenAI
okay,
model.
so it's basically got specific models then.
But that's what I think. I think because ChatGPT model that underlies GPT is not an open source model. I bet these are all open source models because behind the scenes is a machine that is stitching these models together and doing this. So it's not calling out to an API. It's actually doing all of this on a machine somewhere and stitching these models together. So that's my guess as to why.
Well, okay, try Claude. No,
GPT. It's got llama though.
try Claude. Yeah, so
Yep.
no, I mean, it definitely doesn't. It's not just open. It's using APIs as well, because that's only available via API.
Okay, interesting. This is not available.
So try Midjourney. Not, I
Yeah.
mean, if it has Midjourney, I'll be shocked. But
I mean, Open Journey, Stable Diffusion, fine-tuned on Midjourney images, Midjourney Diffusion.
okay, so it's, I mean, this is actually one of the hard things about these things, right? Is because so much is going on. All right, so let's just take a text one.
Yep.
So
Let's do like llama.
perfect. So let's put it in there. And the prompt would be, something to do with generate 10 ideas for,
For AI podcast topics. We're just gonna like,
well, at least do YouTube since we called it YouTube.
oh yeah, AI YouTube channel topics, video topics. Okay. So then so let's see what happens if I can do this or if I have to. So I have to actually pay for this. So we're not going to be able to really see it unless I go through the whole purchasing process. So you have to add funds into your account and you can get a subscription for $50 a month, which apparently will give you $100 in your balance, which is honestly probably a lot. You could probably do a lot with $100.
You probably could.
Probably doesn't cost a lot. Although the cost that you incur iterating on it is a cost, but that's always a cost because there's always time involved in iterating. So it's always iteration cost.
Well, I mean, I have to say the general process makes sense.
Yep.
I think if you go to the flows, right, I don't think do they have, yeah, text to audio.
So you can see like how inexpensive these are.
Yeah, fractions of a penny, right?
Yeah. Background remover,
Is
2 cents.
3 cents, right?
3.5, 2.5 cents. Yeah. Second, I'll be right back. Yeah. So pretty interesting. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, on the flow side, did they have anything more complicated that goes through like a couple hops?
Product promotion by picture. So
in this case, the agent, you input that, and then it gives you a text. Okay.
yeah, so
I mean,
probably GPT, like a vision.
Generate a lesson. There you go. Click on that one from me.
Yeah, it's interesting that they don't actually. This is 33 cents per launch. So this is getting actually quite expensive. I would consider this quite expensive given the fact that you can do this exact thing with ChatGPT at very high. I know because I have done this exact task on ChatGPT multiple times for a client. You can do this for next to nothing on ChatGPT.
Yeah,
Not cents per launch.
If you're using the, just the $20 a month subscription, you can do essentially an unlimited amount. And even the API I've done tens of thousands of these probably.
Yeah, and it's not 33 cents a hit.
No, it's
so this is expensive, actually, in some ways.
Yeah, no,
come down.
Yeah. What's interesting is it's actually relatively easy to use to do one-step things. I don't see any examples of a true flow going from step 1 to step 2 to step 3 to step 4.
At least they're not showing it, right? Like the flow may be for designing, but once you get to where it's created, they hide the flow. Potentially. Oh, look, this one doesn't have a cost. Interesting. Doesn't tell us, but apparently it still does cost something.
I mean, personally,
again, this is kind of naive, dumb. I say dumb. I say naive because now we're at a year in and we can say those kind of things. This is just sending this legal text to ChatGPT or another model like it, Llama or whatever, with a prompt to say, explain this in plain English.
yeah. So this is one of the things that's actually, I think, a good thing for people to see. We actually kind of explored this in real time together with the video. For the purpose of, we didn't want to have too much preset knowledge. I will go ahead and say the marketing is better than the product for this.
Yeah, I would agree.
And so if we just go back to the website, right? Like,
yep.
This marketing is much, much cleaner, and it looks really, really sharp. And I'm sure we can design some of these flows. But if this was really, really good, they would probably already have. Can you click on AI apps in the top corner just in case? They would probably already have some really advanced flows. Yeah. So they really don't showcase anything from an advanced nature. And these simplistic, they do here. Yeah. Actually, on the development one, they show one that actually wires things together. Now you can do these in LangChain and some of the other tools that exist that are open source, but this is a little bit prettier. What I think is a miss is one by one usage. Everybody can do, and they can do it cheaper by not using Skade because they can use the tools directly, right? Skade's got to pay the same price that you do to use the tools, so they have to charge you more to do it. So I think their apps marketplace is missing, right? So like one of the beautiful things, and I talk to people, now we're going to get into marketing instead of AI, but I talk to people all the time about the competitor basis and integration pages and your tool, your examples or your templates. That's one of the most effective forms of marketing. And because it really, like Zapier, ranks for integrations for everything because they've built their pages so well. Notion, has this beautiful template library that you can just see all scads and scads of like complex and or really simple and stupid, pre-made templates. If you're going to launch something like this and you're going to have such a pretty website, for God's sake, have at least one killer flow that you can just have everyone use to start. So Skade, if you're watching, like, you just put one killer demo up there.
Right. There's nothing here yet when you actually get into it that is all that impressive compared to what it looks like you could do. And you can do all of this with LangChain. This is essentially putting a UI on top of LangChain and other frameworks like that. But yeah, I completely agree with you. Missing the mark in terms of there's a lot of wow factor here, but as soon as you get into it, it's very shallow.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Well, that's our review of Skade today.
There you go.